The mainstream media doesn't want you to hear about the war President Trump just prevented. To hear the mainstream media tell it, Donald Trump is a dangerous loudmouth, threatening war with other nations, and putting American lives in danger. It's all they talk about whenever Korea is mentioned. Of course, nothing has happened with Korea yet. Those are the best war stories, the ones where nothing happens. And, as it happens, we have one of those, because Trump was involved in a Mideast war story. One where, of course, nothing happened. Because Trump prevented it. The Conservative Tribune reports. To hear the Democrat-aligned media tell it, President Donald Trump is a loose cannon, a reckless warmonger whose tough rhetoric will cause more conflicts to start that will inevitably lead to countless unnecessary deaths. What they don't tell you is that Trump has actually been making great strides to prevent the outbreak of new conflicts, and could very well have prevented a new war from starting in the Persian Gulf. Twitter.com web link. Basically, Trump visited the Mideast and talked with Saudi Arabia about the need to fight terrorism together. And the sheiks took the message to heart. Because not a moment later, the Saudis were threatening war with Qatar if Qatar didn't stop funding terror. They weren't bluffing. Saudi Arabia and the United Arab Emirates had been prepared to engage in military operations against Qatar, who they accuse of supporting Iran and Islamist terrorists. This is the kind of dangerous situation that might pull the U.S. into war. And you already know that Trump is a warmonger with loose lips stereotype the mainstream media pushes. So it's surprising to them that quite the opposite occurred. Saudi Arabia backed off after being warned by Trump of the potential consequences of their actions, particularly that such a conflict would only serve to benefit Iran. The conflict is still being worked out by the leaders of Qatar, the Saudis, and Trump himself. And you know that stereotype of Trump as a loudmouth braggart? Yeah, also not true. Trump has hardly mentioned the episode, and when talking about it, he never mentions anything like "I did this amazing thing." We are right now in a situation where we're trying to solve a problem in the Middle East, and I think we'll get it solved. I have a very strong feeling that it will be solved pretty quickly. Yes. Clearly a braggart. In fact, Trump might be one of the greatest peacemaking presidents in recent history. Don't hold your breath on a Nobel Prize for him, though. He's not a liberal.